Well, hi. So, did you know that over a lifetime, the average person makes 773,618 decisions? And out of all those decisions, we regret 143,262 of them. So that works out to about 18.5% of our decisions, almost one in five, we tend to regret. Those are terrible odds. Why are we regretting so much of what we decide? Hi, I'm Sherry, and I am a certified women's wellness coach. I work exclusively with midlife women because, you know what? I don't want us to regret anything. I want us to age gracefully and powerfully. So the other day I was speaking with one of my coaches, and she had mentioned this book by Bonnie Ware called, what is it? It's the Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. Sounds like a little bit of a Debbie Downer book, but it is supposed to be so uplifting and really motivating on how to live our lives fuller than we are right now. So what exactly is regret? It's actually fascinating. It is an evolutionary advantage that allows us to learn from our mistakes. So I think in theory, regret can be a good thing. But you know what? I think much like the title of this book, I think there are so many things that we go to our deathbed with that we end up regretting. And so I was just going to highlight those top 5 regrets and hopefully just a little bit of food for thought that maybe we should start really thinking about not living with so much regret. And if we do regret a decision, let's learn from the mistake, right? There's kind of like they say, there is no failure, there's only feedback. Okay, so the top 5 regrets. The first one, I'm gonna read these so I don't forget them. So the first one is that the dying did not live a life true to themselves, but did what other people expected of them. Okay, I almost feel like this is hardwired into women's DNA because it is ultimately at the core, this is what people pleasing is all about, right? Is doing what other people want us to do instead of what we really want to do. So do you want to be, 100 years old on your deathbed thinking, oh, really wished I had done more for myself and not what other people wanted me to do? So the next top regret is working too hard. Okay, ding, ding, ding. I think we are all guilty of this. And again, this is kind of like that old saying, all work, no play, makes a dull, dull girl. So, really start to think that your value isn't tied up into how much you're working, okay? It's a yin and a yang. Let's get some balance in here, ladies, right? The third thing is that they wish they had the courage to express their feelings. I think, again, this is amazing because how many of us, again, don't want to tell people how we're feeling, either based on how we don't want to make them feel, or we're concerned that if we tell them how we feel, the reaction is going to give us a bad feeling. And so we're just spending our lives not talking to each other, not telling each other how we feel about each other. And be that good or bad, if you know how you feel and you express it to the other person and they tell you how they feel, are we not going to have a little bit more information on this relationship and be able to improve it? So then the fourth one that we're up to is a desire to have stayed in touch with old friends. I did like a little bit of research on this one because I was like, oh my goodness, with Zoom and Facebook, I feel like I have been like getting into touch with old friends, and my word of the year is connection, and I'm really showing up for that every day. But they went on to say it's not the artificial connection. Granted, the caveat is we're still in the pandemic, so sometimes you just have to take what you can get. But yeah, I really started to think when you are physically in the same proximity of another person and you're getting the energy from that person, and you can hug that other person and have like a face-to-face conversation, the value of that has so much more than just a little Facebook like button. And then the last big regret that the dying had was not to let themselves be happy. I find this so fascinating. And it's not so much the word happier, it's the idea that they did not let themselves be happier. And one of the reasons the name of my company is Happy Vibes is because happiness actually is a driver into helping us be healthier. And why are we denying ourselves enjoyment and joy and fulfillment and overall health by letting ourselves be happy? This isn't a badge of honor that we're walking around our lives saying, oh, I'm not very happy, so you know what? I have a badge of honor. It's just silly. Come on. Let yourself be happy. Your whole body will be thankful for it. So the one common thread that they found in all of these regrets, and this was stated by also the dying themselves, is that all of these have the common thread of a lack of courage. So again, I think as we go through like the day-to-day of our lives, we become so concerned about staying safe and staying with what we know and doing what's familiar that we would rather spend an entire life that at the end of it, we're going to have these big 5 regrets. We would rather feel that state of comfort, even though it's not a great state to be in, than to experience the discomfort and the courage to go outside of these regrets and change them and really turn our lives into something extraordinary. So with that, I'm going to say peace and love. I'm going to say I have one other announcement, and you don't want to have a regret on this decision, but I have launched my Happy Vibes Health Facebook group, and it is just being built as a community of fun and supportive and just incredible women. And we're there just to like kind of be and make friends, albeit virtual. And we're going to be hosting Happy Vibes Happy Hour, where I'll be bringing in experts in other fields so that we can learn even more. And then I'm going to also be hosting monthly complimentary coaching sessions. So there is a ton of value in this group. So I highly recommend go to Facebook, under groups, do a search of Happy Vibes Health. The actual title of the group is Women Who Want to Holistically Balance Their Hormones and Lose Body Fat, or belly fat, not body fat, belly fat. And I always like to say, full disclosure, I do that so that the search engine of Facebook has a little bit more breadth to work with. So with that, go have a beautiful day. Do not regret it. And I will see you next time.